Meet Jennifer and David. They just got engaged after 3 years together. They're so excited. Congratulations, you two. For years, Jennifer and David have been driving past this venue. They always see it up on the hill, beautiful view, looks like a French chateau. And every time they drive past it, Jennifer says, I would love to get married there someday. They're so caught up in all the excitement of being newly engaged. They've already called family, texted friends, and when the weekend comes, they decide they'll make a trip to the venue that they've always wanted to get married at. They arrive. The timing is perfect. Rebecca, the venue coordinator, is actually available at that moment to give them a tour. First stop is the Great Lawn. Rebecca explains that this is where ceremonies take place, and a lot of couples choose to have a server stationed right here. So as your guests arrive, they grab a glass and they're seated for your ceremony. And right over there, you see that weeping willow tree? That's where most couples decide to put their ceremony musicians. For example, a string trio is a great option. Finally, they walk into the Borgia room. The Borgia room is stunning. It's got these gorgeous chandeliers, and there's an entire wall of windows. And the view? Spectacular. They look at each other, deep into each other's eyes. They both know what they're thinking. This place is perfect. Jennifer has a little tear rolling down her cheek. And they whisper, let's do it. David asks Rebecca, Rebecca, what's the cost? How much does it cost to rent this for our wedding? Rebecca says, it's $5,000 and you can have up to 250 guests. That's great. We expected it to be a lot more. This place is gorgeous and we're probably gonna have a little under that, so this is perfect. Jennifer says, Rebecca, do you have any dates in July? As a matter of fact, I have a couple of dates in July. They decide to go for it. Rebecca serves them a second glass of champagne and says, wait right here, I'll be right back with a contract. They're so excited. All they can think is this is it. This is happening. It's really real. They sign the contract, go out for dinner, and reminisce about how amazing it's going to be, how beautiful the wedding is going to be at this venue, and how they've already checked off a huge task from their wedding planning journey. Fast forward 3 months later, they're deep into the wedding planning now, and they're a little stressed out. Jennifer and David have had a few arguments. It seems that they don't know how they're going to be able to afford this wedding. Jennifer and David, they are such a sweet couple, and they were so excited, and they did what felt natural. They did what they felt they should do. They were caught up in the moment. Okay, let's learn from Jennifer and David's mistake, okay? First of all, that rental fee that Rebecca quoted them, the $5,000, it doesn't seem like that much, but guess what? It was for 4 hours of event time only. What does that mean? That means from start to finish, ceremony, cocktail, reception, dinner, 4 hours is not enough time. You need at least 6 hours, in my opinion. And event time does not mean setup or breakdown time. So they had to pay extra fees for their vendors to arrive, the florals, the caterer, the photographer, and then the time it takes to break down the wedding, they had to pay for that. I mean, it's a lot of money. Also, this beautiful venue that they loved so much, they didn't have a kitchen. So that meant that whatever caterer they hired, that caterer was going to have to bring in all the equipment they needed to create essentially a kitchen, right? And that place, that beautiful venue, doesn't have rentals. There's no tables, there's no chairs, there's no tablecloths, there's no glasses, there's no dishes. It's just the empty space. So everything had to be brought in. Okay, another thing that a lot of couples don't realize is a lot of venues have a list of vendors that you might have to choose from, a required vendor list. And this venue's required vendor list had awesome vendors, but they were super expensive, way outside of the budget. Also, this very popular wedding venue, because it was beautiful. I mean, people love this place, right? Very popular. So this venue does 2 weddings every Saturday and sometimes Sunday. So Jennifer and David's wedding could not be any more than 5 hours because there was another wedding happening on that same day. And to that end, all their vendors, including that rental company, had to deliver and arrive at a very specific time. And a lot of people don't know this, but rental companies usually give you a 4-hour window to deliver in. But if you tell them that they have to deliver at a specific time and pick up at a specific time, they're going to charge you a lot more for that delivery and pickup fee. Also, you probably have to hire their staff to set up all the tables and chairs, which costs you even more. So what should Jennifer and David have done? Well, you know what? You're engaged, you're excited. Just enjoy that for a minute. Tell people, have fun, stare at that ring, go out to dinner, give lots of kisses and snuggles. But when you're ready to start wedding planning, the first thing you need to do is figure out your budget and your priorities. If you don't know, if you're like, Michelle, I don't know how to figure out my budget and my priorities, what are you talking about? I got a video about that too on this channel. Check the link below. After you figured out your budget and priorities, then you start doing research. There's a lot of venues out there, and the prettiest, shiniest one might not be the right one for you. Go online and start doing research. Find the venues in your area that match kind of your aesthetic and your priorities, and then make contact with those venues or email. Most of them have online submission forms. Make contact and extract more important information, right? Now we know that the rental fee sometimes only includes the actual event hours. So you know that now you need to ask that question, what does the rental fee include? What amenities? Are there tables and chairs? Do you have a full kitchen, right? Get all of this information now. Start writing it down or putting it on a spreadsheet. And then you've got a list of venues to compare and contrast. The last step in booking your venue is the site visit.